Welcome everyone to State of the Game for the 10th of November. I got the date right this time, yes.
Yay.
If we like a little bit flushed, it's because we were running around getting like a lot of news. As much news as we can for you guys. So it's been a bit of a scramble, but we've got Frederick here. So there's going to be no lower third for you today. I'm very, very sorry.
You're called Hamish Boden now.
Yeah,
okay.
It's totally
I'll
fine.
take it.
Fierce Standards asking, is it pre-recorded? No. If it were
live.
pre-recorded, we would have not been in such a rush. But that's life at Massive. And we're working on a live game.
It's PTS life.
Exactly,
Yeah.
PTS life.
Yeah.
Wow. But yes, who's that right? I guess actually.
Who's that right guy? So
Yeah.
This is me. Yeah, I'm Frederick. I work on the gear and the guns and a lot of work on the meta game, so to speak.
Yes. And Yannick and myself are the community developers here. Actually, no, that's a really good point. We shouldn't stop introducing ourselves. We have a lot of new people coming who are
Hopefully
interested in the game.
Yeah.
Especially after they've looked for subtitles and that sort of thing. It's, yeah, I just saw someone saying subtitles. Did I say subtitles?
what?
Wait, I'm so confused. My brain just did a total flip.
No, I'm totally confused. All right.
Anyway,
Hello everyone.
save me,
My
Yannick.
name is Yannick. I'm community developer on The Division.
Yeah, that's the thing. He is the cool weapon guy. Yes.
I'm the weapon guy.
No,
Let's go with that.
You're the cool weapon guy.
Oh, nice.
My point was, before my brain completely did a backflip and tried to say something while looking at chat, I'm sorry about that, was that we do have a lot of people who are interested in survival that maybe haven't tried out the Division yet.
That's true.
For those people who have never tried out the Division, survival is actually a really good time. Because
Level playing field?
completely level playing field in survival. It's you don't have to have grinded out or played through the whole experience to even jump into survival.
Yeah.
So
Any level player?
yeah, very, very cool. Anyway, this isn't the stream where we go into a lot of that information.
Somebody asked, why did you nerf the sun in Sweden?
Yeah, the sun in Sweden is currently turned off for the purposes of our life.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a lot of sun for a while.
We'll
But
get-
that's good because play more games, work on more games.
We'll get very white, but this is not a health issue. Don't be concerned. It's just winter.
That's
just go
another bit.
translucent.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's
Game
talk
stuff.
about the game.
Game stuff.
Oh.
Right.
Oh yeah, I got
What do we got
it.
today?
Don't worry about it. No, you got it.
Okay, so yeah, so we are Thursday morning. So as usual, we have our weekly maintenance this morning. What is happening this morning? We have a couple fixes for the live game. We have the first one, which is we are fixing a bug where basically if you would be below level 30, you could group up with level 30 players and get access to their vendors when you would join them their group, and therefore get high-end items that would be below level 30. So we're fixing that, so you won't be able to do it anymore. Because that was an issue when people could go in the dark zone, that would be below level 30 and just, grinding or whatever. So that was not really fun. We're fixing that one, and we're fixing another bug which has been affecting some of you, I guess, which was a bug we had with underground rank, where some people ended up having underground rank. Like we had one which was 13,000.
User joined your channel.
Glitches.
Which is not how it's supposed to be.
No. It's not 40, right?
Maximum rank is still supposed to be 40, and then you get the infinite XP and the caches, but that's not rank technically. So we had a bug with that. That sounds like fun, but that actually was not fun because that meant that they couldn't get underground XP anymore. And no.
Saying the guy who had
caches.
13,000 ranks, those were legit, like past 40. Or was it just a bug?
No, it was just a bug.
so no one grinded out 13,000.
I mean, maybe it was the accumulated XP he actually got prior to the update.
At any rate, the bug is fixed.
But
Okay,
anyway,
sorry,
yeah,
wow.
the bug is fixed.
It's a lot of
so
that's a
what
lot
that
of
means
rank.
is that if you are experiencing this bug, I only ranked 2,450. If you were experiencing this bug, which means if you had a rank higher than 40, you will be back at rank 40 and you will gain XP again.
And start getting those caches.
Yeah, and get the caches.
Great.
Yeah.
Important
So that's an important bug fix because it was affecting quite a few people and it was very annoying.
Yes. Someone was asking about the 93R. We actually talked about that on Tuesday a little bit.
Yeah, I've been testing it out. I don't know how it's going to be with Sentry yet. I'm not seeing completely broken builds. I'm seeing fun builds. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Again, that especially obviously the 93R isn't something that you find in survival. Well, maybe,
I'm not sure about the sources, but people people have it at any rate.
Yeah. So that's why it's going to be important that we focus on 1.5 feedback this week. So feedback really, really important for this coming week. The survey.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into that next?
Yeah, so we published a dev blog about survival yesterday. So of course, a lot of you have played it already on the PTS. But yeah, we wanted to make sure we have a dev blog there that explains it for the people that have not played or have not heard of it or have not been watching streams or anything. So it's on the website if you want to read it. But also we published a survey. It's on the PTS forums. We have a thread there with a survey on survival. It's also linked in the dev blog. And so if you guys had the opportunity to play survival on the PTS, please make sure to go on the forums and fill out the survey. It's great if you can give us feedback on top of that also in the forums, but at the very least, please make sure to fill out the survey and tell us what you think about the game mode, because it's really important for us.
Exactly.
So I'm sure we can get the link posted somewhere. I don't know if Gabe is here or if we have somebody that could post the link in the chat, but
I'm sure maybe Weezer can dig that up.
Yeah,
that would be awesome, dude.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah,
look at Gabe.
Perfect.
Wow, so quick.
Thank you.
Thank you, dude. Yes, again, that's very, very important for us to have some feedback that we can start looking at, and how do we action that for upcoming updates. World Tier. I've seen a lot of conversation about World Tier 5. And how that kind of
and the new gear score
and that sort of thing.
The new gear score, yeah.
I understand. Yes, we are a loot-based game, and these things have happened in the past and will happen. This is a kind of unique one because I know it comes at a time when 1.4 is really still fresh for a lot of people.
And 1.4 in many ways felt like a new start, but in reality, a lot of people already had 229 gear, had almost everything they needed.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a divisive thing for the community, the haves, the have-nots, and so this now that we have new content, we have new ways to playing the game, we have new pieces to collect. This is the time for everybody to get a level playing field and gear up together.
Yeah.
The people that stuck with us with 1.3 and the people that just came in with 1.4 all get to start fresh.
Well, we'll see a lot of new builds, especially with all the new weapons that have gone into the game.
Yeah.
There'll be different ways that people utilize them.
Well, hopefully.
There's a lot on that. Are there any kind of builds that you're starting to think people will look at? I mean, obviously.
I think sidearm builds are a thing that haven't been a thing for a while, but we have the holster, we have some new sidearms. I think that's something we might see.
Maybe some M700 builds with the elevator talent.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, we have seen people really trying to create that that perfect storm of everything to what might be known right now as a one-shot build with
death from above build.
3 Hunter's Faith, 3 Sentry, M44 with proficient, these sorts of things. Prepared and then tactical advance. It's a lot of things really need to come together to make your damage.
If you put a lot of things together, you should get paid. So
exactly. No, I completely agree. Maybe the M700 fits into that category.
Maybe.
Well. That'd be
We'll see.
And the FAMAS is always interesting for maybe.
Yeah, and obviously the Riot Shield, both the Riot Shield gear set on the one hand, but also the new sidearms on the other hand. A lot of people.
Rhino and stuff as well.
A lot of people haven't seen the golden Rhino because they are not playing the right piece of content to get it because they're all in survival.
Exactly, and that's great that you guys are all in survival, but there are a lot of things coming at 1.5 that we need to look at.
We need to look at a lot of things in the missions and balancing that are not survival, because survival is a unique little bubble.
Exactly.
So yeah, regarding World Tier 5, I think one of the reason that people reacted so strongly about it is, yes, definitely in terms of timeline, we understand that some of you might think that this is a very short time frame between the release of 1.4 and then we are adding a new gear score. But as Frederick said, that's also just putting everybody on the same level. But also, what's important for you to know is the fact that this is not going to be a regular thing. It's not like every month we're going to bring in a new world tier and a new gear score. This is more of a conclusion to the changes we did with 1.4. This is something that we felt was needed to really, bring everybody to the same level and start over again together. But this is not going to be a regular thing where every month we're going to change it. It's a one-time thing, and then the next time, if we want to increase gear score and world tier and everything, we will only do it if we actually really have new content and new activities that would justify actually you guys grinding your gear again. We are not going to change or to add a world tier just because we can, because we know if that means just grinding the same gear over again, it's not going to be a fun thing to do like many times in a row. So yeah, don't think that this is how it's going to be in the future or like every month.
Yeah, exactly. We understand it. It's a justified reaction. You know, people saying like 1.5.
It's also a partial reaction. Some people were already done with their gearing because they had a good starting point and already had a bunch of gear in their stash, and some people basically started out even sub-level 30 and came back and played 1.4. So this is like I said, this is the equalizer.
I think especially the gear score part feels like the last part of the puzzle that needs to happen for that gear shift from 1.3 to what is happening in 1.4. There's still that little bit where we need to go and make sure that everyone gets that level playing field back, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's not a decision we made lightly. We only do it for these good reasons, and because we have enough new content that it's a meaningful new tier.
I've seen a couple of questions that I just want to answer before I forget. Somebody asking, why can't I recalibrate named gear pieces? That's a bug, and we have a fix for that.
Yes.
So that's going to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We're looking to revert the buff to the DPS or the tactical link.
Yeah, was the second thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, somebody was asking, why did you buff it? It was already strong enough. Yeah, we're going to remove the buff we did in PTS. So it's going to be back to the 1.4.
And this is us now. We are looking at the feedback on PTS. We're looking at the data on PTS, and we're working actively on those things.
Yeah, definitely. The next big discussion. Well, that's why we brought.
Was actually Fenris asking the question.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly.
Fenris, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Plenty of
glad to
times.
see you back in here. And actually, you kind of preempted what we wanted to talk about next, and why Yannick stole Frederick away from his desk and brought him down here. Enemy armor damage.
Right. Let's talk about that.
Let's assume that no one has looked at anything and they're hearing about changes to enemy armor damage for the first time.
TLDR summary of what we're talking about. So we saw with 1.4 that armor really quickly became the must-pick stat when you're recalibrating your gear. And
it's very powerful.
There's a couple of reasons for that. The primary reason is that you get mitigation from it. And mitigation is a percentage. And percentages just get better. Like going from 99 to 100 is better than going from 0 to 1%. So like it gets better the more you invest in it. Okay. So it becomes a bit of a must-pick stat. So we were looking into how to address that now that we're moving up to a new tier with new gear and stuff like that. And one of the things we wanted to do was give you a meaningful choice. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to try out giving you the choice between armor and armor damage, so that you're not going really tanky and DPS at the same time. We want this RPG choice to be. So that's something we're trying out on the current PTS, and that's why we did that change.
Okay.
And it's something we're reading feedback and seeing data and seeing builds coming in based on that change and looking at how that pans out.
Cool.
And that's something interesting also you were talking about before we went live, but also there was also there are two things with enemy armor damage that are happening right now. The fact that we made it a major bonus, but the fact that we also made it apply to PvP.
And the PvP thing is completely separate. It just happens to happen in the same patch. Like the reason we moved it to a major is to make you think about your choices between DPS and tankiness. Mm-hmm. The reason why it also happens to be that it starts working in PvP now is that we're making an initiative to make all of the guns rolled stats work in PvP. Yeah. And so stagger also on shotguns also works in PvP now. So those are separate issues. It had nothing to do with that. And in fact, the PvP armor penetration or armor damage, we're trying that out now. We might tune it down, turn it off, turn it up. We don't know, but that's a separate line of discussion.
We have mentioned it before, but just to reiterate to people, there is a different modifier for the PvP enemy armor damage and the PvE. So if we need to change it in a dedicated PvP sense, we can do that on our side. You did mention it, and I don't want people to get freaked out. Shotgun stagger, it acts a little bit different in PvP.
It's not. We didn't turn on stagger so that people are flailing around like they did from explosive ammo or something. It just makes you flinch.
Your
so
reticle
that
will.
your reticle will jump and not automatically return like it does with normal hit reactions. So it's a subtle thing, but it gives you an advantage in close quarters. We wanted to give some utility to the shotguns as we're adjusting their damage output. Make sure that that's balanced.
I think on that note, one of the things that, since we're talking about shotguns and PvP, people haven't been able to really test that out just yet, given that the controller wasn't working on the PTS.
There was a controller problem, yeah. That's a shame.
But tomorrow, people will be able to start trying that out. Adrian said that we should be able to try that.
Yeah, I hope we have a fix for the controller that will be ready for the next PTS.
But that's a nice thing to say that we are updating.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to say though. It's just some kind of PSA, but when we're talking about changes to enemy armor damage applying to PvP or what we did anyway with it being a major bonus, just keep in mind when you give your feedback that this is something we're testing on the PTS. So don't have the first reaction, which is like, oh my God, they killed the game because they made this change and now the game is going to be broken forever. It's something we're testing. So we want to get your feedback on, do you think this is a good idea or not? Have you tried it? Do you think it works? Do you think we should tweak it? This is good feedback for us, but try to not overreact by just thinking that this is a commitment to this is going to happen in the game.
Yeah, but
I'm
seeing
the difference between PTS and update.
And I'm seeing directly people getting into the mindset of discussing the issue, like what if the solution was this or that, and that's really healthy, and that's what we need. And just to remind everybody, the goals of the whole thing was that armor shouldn't be the must pick. People shouldn't go super tanky and super DPSy at the same time. And choices should be interesting and different from player to player. Like those are the high level goals. How we get there, this is something we tried. Maybe we'll try something else. But
nice. Sorry, I just wrote down a couple of things that I saw while you guys were answering about that. Voice on 1.5 for our Xbox community.
We should have a fix for that.
There's a fix for that.
We should have a fix for that with 1.5, which means that as you remember, or if you remember, we deactivated voice chat on Xbox One to temporarily fix the stutter issue. We have a fix now for the stutter issue that doesn't require the Xbox voice chat to be deactivated. So with 1.5, we should be able to reactivate the voice chat, and the stutter should be gone also.
Nice. I saw another really good question in there before. Someone was asking about the new named items. They were asking, can you only get them in survival, or are there specific places that they can drop? So, for example,
the loot team has been trying out some different solutions, and both for the exotic gear and the named weapons. I think in the current PTS, they only drop from certain sources, certain activities.
But it's actually we have a change for that in PTS2 as well, because on the current PTS, I think they only drop in survival, but that was not the intention, but that's what happened with this PTS, but we're changing it with PTS2, where they will also drop from certain activities and from the field proficiency cache as well. Great. So the idea is that if you want to farm this specific one.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, for example, like Barrett's chess piece.
Yeah.
She should be dropping that in Lexington, was my understanding.
Well, you can get it in a specific activity. We don't want to spoil it.
Well, it's got Barrett on it. Come on. Unless someone's stolen her chess piece.
But that's certainly how it works.
I'm sure we've said that. I think we've talked about it.
It is how it works.
But the idea is that yes, there are activities that you will have a chance to get this specific item. But then we don't want to force you to do this activity, so you also have a chance to get any of them in the field proficiency caches, which is the XP part thing.
Exactly. So if you're targeted going for a thing, you'll be able to run a certain activity.
Yeah, kind of obvious. I guess it,
Barrett's Bulletproof might drop from someone. Yeah. Bluebird.
If it has a name, it might drop from.
Again, I haven't seen the loot table, so I don't actually know that. But maybe there's, anyway. I'm probably.
Yeah, but
I ruined it.
So those are the discussions that are going on in the community right now. Really healthy to see all of those discussions.
Definitely.
Please know that it's a test server. This isn't the patch you're playing. You're playing a test server.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the important part. Keep in mind, it's a test server.
Chat saying I'm always spoiling and ruining everything. I'm sorry.
Hamish.
There's always that one guy that doesn't mind spoilers.
No,
and
but the
just
thing is,
blurts them
you
out.
can't turn around and say that and then jump on the stream later and be like, Hamish, tell us everything. Please spoil everything. So I'm just doing what you're asking for.
From now on, what you do is you make me spoil things instead, and
That's
then
what
you're
I do.
safe.
I
then
do
you're
try
safe.
and do that.
Yeah.
Backpack bug is back. Yeah, we know about the backpack bug.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes.
damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
we
probably
have that. No, we.
Any date for the update? Obviously, that's one of the big questions. Death for Farah, I think I saw the name. We do not have a date for you just yet, but as soon as we do, I mean, we really want to, get that date out to you as soon as we can.
but we have a test server running. We're
Exactly.
looking at
Yeah.
how the game should be.
Exactly. It makes sense for us to test and implement before we get that date out to you. But we'll get it.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
So should.
I know that this is not my area of expertise, but a lot of people are talking about groups versus solo players in the survival mode. It's important to note that it attempts to matchmake for the best possible solution every time, but
Yes.
the test servers are kind of small.
Really
it's a very small population, so it sort of has to do non-ideal matchmaking, sometimes just get the matches going on these very small servers that we have for the PTS, and so that's why you sometimes end up in those results.
Exactly.
So, we're aware that solo players want to be matched against solo players, etc.
Exactly.
That's not a thing we're deaf to.
Definitely.
So yeah, we talked about the segue, but now then we kind of diverted in other directions. So PTS.
I was really trying to set that up for you, where I was like, the PT. Anyway,
Yeah.
Sorry, did I ruin your thing now?
I know.
No.
I thought about it for
Did
so
you
long.
have okay? Did you have something to
We
make
should
the
have
transition?
practiced. No, it was meant to just like naturally flow on and be this majestical musical
Sorry.
flow onto like PTS.
No, I
there you go.
ruined it.
Now you can do it.
No, I feel bad.
I'll just be here. Go, Yannick, do it.
Okay, do it. Go, Yannick. So PTS. So as we said, we have an update of the PTS that is coming. It's coming tomorrow. So tomorrow we will have a maintenance of the PTS. We don't know exactly when and how long yet, but we will let you know when that happens. We will have a maintenance and a patch for the PTS. So we will have what we call PTS2, which is going to be the second version of PTS. We have a few changes in there. I don't have the patch notes just yet, or all the patch notes. We're working on them. But there's a few changes. I've seen some people saying the survival is too easy or this kind of thing. So we looked at some of the feedback. We made a few changes in some of these things, balancing changes with survival. We have some new bug fixing coming as well. So yeah, just look out for the patch notes. They will come later today, I think.
Great. All right. Any ETA on those? And we'll put a tweet out, I imagine, once those
Yeah,
are
and we have
okay.
patch notes for the new PTS. Yeah, I think later today in a few hours. I would assume.
What's the current time now?
But.
Right.
And so there's something to actually say about the next PTS is that when we open the next PTS, so tomorrow, as I said, tomorrow morning, hopefully morning, we have a maintenance to update the PTS. When we open the PTS, survival will not be accessible.
The mode.
The survival mode, yeah. The update 1.5 is still there, but the survival mode will be closed for a limited time because we also want you guys to focus on testing the free update 1.5. And we've already had some people testing it. We already had some feedback. But the fact that, of course, we have survival available, a lot of people have been playing survival and giving us great feedback on it. That's cool. That's good. But we kind of want you guys now to focus on update 1.5. So when the PTS reopens tomorrow after the update, survival will be deactivated for some time.
Yes.
So go get gear, make sure that you make builds, make sure you check out all the new gear,
Yeah.
try the activities, the balance on tier 5.
This guy wants feedback.
Yeah, the balance of tier 5, just how all of it feels, right?
Yeah.
We need that stuff.
We need that feedback so we can make sure. Character wipe. Is characters being re-imported tomorrow? Do we?
I think so, but that's a good question.
It's a good question.
I think they are.
It's probable, but we would need to double check.
And we also re-import the season pass database. So if any of you actually got the season pass after we open the PTS, you will get access to survival when we reopen it then.
Yeah, I saw a question, Retorsian, who I've noticed in chat, obviously, for a long time. And since you had the blind rifle,
Which is now the urban MDR.
that was the. Oh, you answered the question already. The whole question was.
okay.
Please stop spoiling.
Yeah.
Anyway, the whole question was that Retorsian was asking, what's happening with the blind rifle? I need to get my semi-auto.
Yep, it's in there. The fixes, The semi-auto fix for you is in there.
Yeah. So there's an urban MDR.
Yeah.
Well, that's its name, right? That's the named name.
That's what it is.
Urban MDR.
Because we don't have a blind set anymore, it didn't fit with that.
Yeah.
And because of that, it got a little bit of a better talent, because now it does extra damage to someone with a status effect, any
Yes.
status effect, not just
See,
blind.
If you listened to the podcast on Tuesday, you would already
The
know this.
podcast
Just saying.
is juicy.
If you missed it, for the people who missed it, I spoke with Frederick and also Matthew from, sorry, I dropped my something, the lead game designer for Survival on Tuesday. If you have been missing those podcasts, they happen Tuesday mornings, a little bit earlier than this. But you can get them on iTunes. If you follow on SoundCloud, you'll get them as soon as they go up. You'll probably get a notification even before you would on Twitter or that sort of thing. So I would highly recommend doing that.
Can I hijack and answer a question that's
Please,
been
please.
stringing
Yeah,
by?
I'm
So
done here.
a lot of people are talking about the new gear set and why you can't swap between a pistol and an SMG while using it. And there's two parts to that. One is that we were thinking about doing that and what it would cost, because it's kind of complicated with animations and stuff. But the reason why we've added things like the Rhino and the 93R and stuff like that is we want shield usage to not be just that one gear set. So that gear set has that limitation, because we want you to build sidearm functioning shield builds not using that gear set, and then SMG shield builds using that gear set. So it isn't the one-stop shop for anybody who wants to use a shield. So if you could, then you would just use the best sidearm and an SMG and that set, and then there wouldn't be any build diversity or any place for that. So it's the choice we made.
Exactly.
I have one good news to answer a question that we've had a lot, and we've been talking about that for a while, and I saw the question just show up now, which is surprising, but it just showed up now.
Wow, it took a while.
Stash size.
What, we're going to do that now?
Yeah. You spoiled, I spoiled. That's just how it goes.
I'm so excited.
Yep. The answer is yes.
Stash size.
We are increasing the stash size with update 1.5. It's not on the PTS. I don't know if it's going to be on PTS 2, actually. It might be.
I think it might be.
Yannick, you did it.
But we are increasing the stash size with update 1.5. So it was 70. We're increasing to 150.
Oh my God, it's more than double.
Big explosion, nuclear stuff and everything. No, not 500, 150, 150.
150.
Yeah.
Which is a big increase. So
And now we can't read chat anymore.
Now I can't read chat.
Yeah, we're going to rate limit this.
Someone said
soon.
70. Someone said 70 to 90. Nah, man.
No.
150.
Let's do that.
150. All right, so we'll let you guys freak out for a little bit. Actually, now would be a good time, since I'm not going to be able to read anything for a while.
Yeah. If you had questions, sorry, that's just mic drop.
Yeah, mic drop.
Thanks, Dad. All right, I should stop playing. Yeah. No, it's not. It's nice. It's endearing, I think. Anyway, we're almost at 100,000 followers, if we're not already. Like, because Monday went crazy. On Monday, people were so excited about Survival. We had 3,000 new followers on that day. I thought we were like at least a month away until we kind of had to do something for 100,000 followers. But we have to kind of do it maybe very soon, in the next week. So here's the plan. We want to make sure that there's a really, really cool giveaway for the people who have supported us, who have followed the channel and been here through some admittedly hard times for us and for you, and some good times and some manically amazing times when, for example, Yannick announces that we're more than doubling the stash size. Anyway, what we want to do is we're going to put together some packs. Right now I'm thinking 3 packs of stuff. Merchandise, we have microphones, we have CDs, we have books, we have Division tags, and a bunch of cool stuff.
We have a room full of it.
We have a room full of stuff. Thanks, Gabe. We will be putting together 3 prize packs for people that are following the channel. Now, what I'm planning on doing, and this is just my thinking right now, because I want it to be available to everyone who is following the channel, regardless if they are in chat or not, because time zones, right? If you're not in the chat, but you've been someone who supported the channel for months and months and months, you shouldn't not be able to win. So what I'll be doing is I'll be grabbing an import of the database once we hit 100,000 followers, and then I will be at random I will use a random generator, so we make sure that it is completely random. Picking 3 followers from that, at which point we will announce them, hopefully, on the State of the Game next week. I'm pretty sure that we'll hit 100,000 by that time. I don't know if we've already done that, but we'll see. That's the plan.
Cool.
So you will see over the next week before that point as to what will be going in those prize packs, but it's going to be a lot of cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff. All right. A 3 in 100,000 chance. Yeah, it's pretty small.
How close are we to 100,000 now?
This morning I checked and we were 550 away. So we shall see as to where we are at after this stream. Usually on State of the Game days we see a few more, but I don't know. I don't think we're at 100K yet. Anyway, I'm sure someone else. So someone says Gabe says we're about 500 away. So yeah.
Cool.
There we go.
510 now. Okay.
Exactly. But the thing is, I guess you can kind of view it as we have 550 tickets left to the lottery. So if you're not following, now would be a really, really good time, because I will be getting that database as soon as we hit 100,000. So go and follow. And if you unfollow, you won't be in the database. So just saying, probs don't want to do that. Anything else we wanted to get at before we... the chat seems to have slowed down now.
Just as an aside on the stash size increase, it also comes with a stash performance increase, so it's not as laggy as before.
Yeah, there's also that,
Yes.
And I've seen somebody saying, confirmed Yannick was lying when he was talking about traffic limitation for stash.
That's part of what we fixed.
Or maybe actually we found a solution for it.
Yes, we wouldn't have... well, let's be honest, if there was... If it were as easy as just changing the number value in the stash, we would have done that a long time ago. There are technical issues that have been fixed that were blockers, allowing us to now go ahead and make that bigger.
And loadouts, no, we are not putting loadouts with 1.5. We know that this is something that you guys want, but yeah, we don't have that just yet. But that's something we'd like to implement in the game at some point.
PS4 Pro update. We don't have any news on anything in that regard. I mean, I would love it. It would be awesome. Although I would have to buy a PS4. And
my problem is I play with the Xbox Elite controller.
Oh,
so
okay.
I want a PS4 Pro, but I also want an Xbox Elite controller, so I don't know what to do.
I just don't know what to do. Yes, anyway. Someone says, marry me, Yannick.
Oh, good.
Sure.
That's
Great.
nice.
All right. Okay, I think we're over time now. So we're gonna head off. For the people who are playing either the PTS or the live game, what's the kind of server status? Just to reiterate, where are we?
So
bullet points.
So the live game should reopen in about 30 minutes.
Yep.
And we have 2 fixes with the weekly maintenance: the sealed cache below level 30 that give you high ends, and the underground rank issue where you could get rank 3000 whatever and stuff like that. So reopening in about 30 minutes. PTS 2 is coming tomorrow. We will have a maintenance of the PTS tomorrow morning-ish, and we will have an update of the PTS version and 1.5 and survival. But keep in mind, when PTS opens tomorrow, survival will be deactivated for some time, so you guys can focus on testing update 1.5.
Yep. Okay. That's it. For the latest news, the best place to be looking at is probably the forums, Twitter as well. We'll obviously try and get news out there, but forums, Twitter, and if we're live, come and check back, and we'll try and get news out to you guys on all of the happenings, PTS, live, all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
But for today, that's it.
All right.